Hello everyone, I am Dr. M. This is my speedrun of Ocarina of Time in 22 minutes and 22 seconds. When I recorded this video, something went horribly wrong with the audio, so it sounds horrible. And to deal with that problem, I decided to record this commentary. Basically, I thought it's better for you to listen to me commenting on the video than listening to the crappy audio. If you find this really gay and annoying, you can still watch the video without commentary, and the link for that is in the description. Plus, all the cool guys like CFG and Cosmo does commentary for their speedruns. That's because they're really good at speedrunning, and I'm not that good. But I don't know, I had people in my chat while streaming who asks questions about the speedrun, and I know some people want to know stuff, so I guess if just one guy out there will enjoy this commentary, it's worth it. Okay, so the first thing you will notice is that the text is in Japanese and not English, and the reason for that is Japanese text is way faster. It goes by quicker and it has less letters. I play this game on Wii Virtual Console, but if you want to try speedrunning this game, you can do it on an English version for Wii Virtual Console or for GameCube or for Nintendo 64. It doesn't matter, it works. Okay, so the opening cutscene is almost over. Almost. The worst part about speedrunning this game, particularly this category, is when you make a mistake, you have to reset and you have to watch this cutscene again and again, and it gets really tedious. Okay, so Navi's about to wake Link up. For some reason he's always sleeping in. And the first thing that we will do as soon as I get control of Link is head over to the Kokiri sword. And on my way to the Kokiri sword I will collect some rupees so I can buy the shield later, because I need that too. Okay, so finally I get control of Link and I can start playing the game. First we have to listen to Saria though. Here she comes. A fun fact is that Saria's fairy is a different color every time, or it can be a different color every time, it's random. So this time it was blue, but it can be any color. One thing that you will see in this speedrun is a lot of walking backwards. That's because it's faster than walking forwards. It's way faster than walking forwards. It's not that much faster than rolling though. So rolling is actually faster for short distances, but for long distances you want to backwalk. Okay, so here we have the Kokiri sword. And I've also collected a couple of rupees. Okay, so I will soon be headed for the Dicky tree, as you normally would. But first I will have to get a bottle. So I need to escape from the Kokiri forest before beating the Dicky tree. And there are several ways of doing this, and different ways are better for different speedruns. But in this category, I don't need to get an ocarina, but I do need to go to Kakariko village to get a bottle. So the fastest way of escaping the forest is by clipping through this stone thing by the pond in the Lost Woods. You're actually supposed to use the silver scale and dive into the water of this little pond to get out of there. But even though I don't have the silver scale, I'm able to do this glitch that allows me to clip through the stone thing and get out. So there I aimed for that corner and did this little voodoo dance to get the precise angle and position to be able to clip through. Okay, so on my way to Kakariko Village, I will be doing some swimming, and while in the river, I will be collecting the rest of the 40 rupees for the shield. I will also be doing this little recoil thing off the wall right after this waterfall that comes up here, like that. That allows me to get a red rupee, which is 20 rupees, which is good because it saves me getting a lot of lesser rupees. Those of you familiar with the game might remember that right outside of Kakariko Village there's an owl who likes to talk to you a lot, and since I want to play this really fast, I want to skip him. So what I do is I jump slash this fence and go into the water, and I am able to do this sliding thing. That is called a super slide. Actually, that particular trick is called a water extended super slide. And that allows me to get into Kakariko really fast, and it also allows me to skip the owl. Okay, so this is a really crappy part of speedrunning this game, collecting chickens. You have to collect these chickens to get the bottle. And the chickens are part skill, part luck, I guess. Their positions are set. They move in set areas, but they can move around randomly a lot in these areas. So if you are lucky or unlucky, they can have a pretty large impact on your time. When you throw them though, you are able to chase them a bit and influence where they're going. So what I'm doing here, I am trying to get them as close to the pen as possible. And that was pretty decent, I guess. This one went a bit rogue, but I'm satisfied with that. Here I will do a little back walk. It's very short, but since I can't even roll while holding the cuckoos or the chickens, it's still worth it. So basically when you are carrying chickens, you want to back walk as much as possible. Here I can save a bit of time by jumping onto this ladder. Actually, I got a bit lucky with that position of that cuckoo right there. If I'd been a bit unlucky, it could have been way up there by the windmill. Okay, so I'm not doing any backwalking here because I want to make sure that these cuckoos end up where I want them to be, and they still didn't. But that was some pretty decent cuckoo collecting. At least by my standards. Okay, so I got the bottle, and I am going to put some bugs in it and head to the Deku Tree. And the fastest way for me to get back to Kokiri Forest to enter the Deku Tree is by saving the game and resetting. Okay, and for those of you wondering what that text right there is, it's just the Japanese equivalent of the text on Virtual Console that says you have to use the classic controller, which you don't. I actually use the GameCube controller. Okay, so now I am going to make my way to the Kokiri shop. There is this Kokiri girl outside of the shop who talks to you when you get close, and she tells you about Z-targeting. And if you backwalk and do a little backflip there at the end, you can gain some distance towards the shop entrance before she gets a chance to talk to you. I messed it up a little bit there, but it's a very minor time saver, so that's okay. And this guy, this is Mido. He likes to talk a lot, which is bad because you have to wait for him to talk. And he tells you that you're a wuss and that he's jealous because Saria likes you more than him, basically. Okay, here I take some damage from these Dekubabas, and I also collect a Deku Stick. Okay, so I guess this is where the difficult part of this speedrun begins. Even though the Deku Tree is the first dungeon in the game, it's pretty hard to do it fast. It has a lot of small time savers, and I don't know, getting it all perfect can be pretty difficult. Okay, so the first thing I want to do in here is collect some Deku Nuts. And then I want to climb some vines. And the first time you get close to the vines, or a wall with vines, Navi wants to pop up and tell you about them and tell you that you can climb them. But if I pull out the Deku Stick here at exactly the right moment, I don't know, the game considers Link busy or something, so Navi won't pop up. I can skip this vine text here by backflipping on top of the chest and then jumping to the vines. This next trick I find particularly difficult. I'm sure it's not that difficult, but for some reason I have some problems with it sometimes. But what I did there is I got up on this ledge in the basement of the Deku Tree, which skips me going around a lot of this dungeon. It skips half the dungeon, basically. There I did some magic stuff to get flame on my stick. And that was actually a mistake. I was supposed to land on the ground there so I could take more damage. So that means I will have to take damage from these Deku Scrubs. And that wastes, I don't know, about 10 seconds maybe. So that wasn't too good, but it's still okay. The reason why I want to take damage there is because I want to be at half a heart when I enter the Goma fight. Bonk. Okay, so this is the boss of the Deku Tree, Goma. And the reason I want to be at half a heart here is because I need to kill Goma and die at the same time. You see that stone slab that just closed behind me? That needs to be open and Goma needs to be dead. So the quickest way to achieve that is by killing Goma and dying at the same time, and then getting back to this room real quick. Okay, so when I did the final jump slash on Goma, I actually took half a heart of damage. So even though you can't tell yet, I'm actually dead. As soon as this cutscene is done, I will die. There I go. Game over. And now I can choose to continue, and I respawn at the top of the Deku Tree. This time I will get up on that ledge in the basement by doing a recoil jump thing off of this Dekubaba. Like so. And I can actually get a super slide here, like the one I used to get into Kakariko Village. Unfortunately I missed it, but it saves very little time, so it's okay. Okay, so this is where the real magic of this speedrun begins. This is the reason why we had to go to Kakariko Village and collect the bottle. This glitch is very precise, so I have to do a series of movements to make sure that everything goes right. And if you have never seen this before, this will blow your mind a bit, I think. Okay, I am now in Ganon's castle at the very end of the game. And this cutscene shows Ganondorf dying. So Ganondorf is dead. And that is really good, because normally the only way to kill him is by shooting him with light arrows. And obviously Child Link can't shoot arrows, so you would have to become adult, you would have to get arrows. You would also have to get magic so that you can fire light arrows. So by skipping Ganondorf, I save a lot of time. And the glitch that allowed me to skip from the Deku Tree to Ganon's Tower is really complicated. It's called a wrong warp. And this particular wrong warp is nicknamed Ganondor. If you want to know exactly how it works, I recommend googling it. But basically I exit the boss room in the Deku Tree at the same time as the blue warp tries to start the cutscene for beating the Deku Tree. And since this is not supposed to happen, the game gets confused and it sends me to Ganon's castle. That's a really bad explanation, so I'm sorry. Okay, this is actually a bit scary sometimes, because you see these flaming boulders on the floor. If I touch any one of them, the game will crash. And that's really depressing this late in the speedrun. So there's some pretty tight spots here. If I get hit by a falling boulder, it's okay, the game won't crash. Which is fortunate, because the falling boulders are random. Okay, so I'm very careful right there, because I don't want to run into a boulder and crash my game. Okay, so in here we have the Stalfos. And these guys can be really annoying. This is, I guess, the second kind of mistake I made in this speedrun. I am attempting to perform a glitch here called the Infinite Sword glitch, which allows me to kill these guys really fast. And I'm having a bit of a struggle. Okay, there. I got it, and what that does is it makes my sword, or in this case my Deku Stick, always out and active. So I'm able to do a lot of damage really fast on these guys. The Infinite Sword glitch is actually a frame perfect trick. It means you have one frame to do it, but it's still pretty easy, and it should not take that many tries for me to do it. You will see me performing the Infinite Sword glitch on the Ganon fight as well, and that times it goes a lot better. Okay, these stairs are a bit scary, I think. You have to navigate between these flaming rocks, trying to not crash the game. But now the scary part is over, and it should be smooth sailing from here. But you never know, though. I've seen very good players die to Ganon. Okay, so this is a very nice break in this speedrun. It's a little cutscene of the tower collapsing right before you fight the final boss. So this is a time to drink some soda and get hyped for the final battle. So up until this point, this run has been pretty damn good by my standards. I made a couple of mistakes. The one in the Deku Tree was not... well, I don't know. That wasn't too good. The one at the Stalfos, it didn't waste that much time. So, even though this isn't perfect by any means, I'm still really proud of this run. So now Zelda is going to tell me that it's all over, but of course it isn't. Ganon is gonna pop out there. Spoilers. And this looks kind of funny actually. You see Child Link is too short to fit in the cutscene, so the game pops him up. And when the camera zooms out, you can see he's actually standing in midair. Okay, I will do a jump slash into this cutscene. I also did a jump slash into the Goma fight, if you noticed, and that is because I need to do that for the infinite sword glitch to be very effective. Okay, so you will soon see Ganon strike the Master Sword out of my hand, even though I never collected the Master Sword, and that is very good, because I actually need the Master Sword to kill him. I can use my Deku Stick at first, but the final blow has to be done by the Master Sword. So it's really fortunate that he hits it away, even though I never had it. Okay, so here comes the infinite sword glitch. And that is actually pretty scary, because I really need to get the first try there. If I don't, I risk Ganon hitting me and killing me instantly. So if I miss the infinite sword glitch there, I will have to run like hell, which wastes a lot of time. So that went very well. Okay, I picked up the Master Sword. Even though it looks like the Kokiri Sword, it actually is the Master Sword. It's as powerful and it has the same range as the Master Sword. But I will still use my Deku Stick because it's faster. And with the infinite sword glitch, you can see I am doing a ton of damage to Ganon here. So it's down. And Zelda is using her yellow magic. And my magic Deku Stick glows a bit, and that's it. The run is over. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this commentary.